I am a child of royal birth. My Father is King of heaven and earth. My spirit was born in the courts on high. See, I have mood music. A child beloved, a princess am I. This poem by Anna Johnson summarizes a theme for my life. I know I am a child of God, and He's helped me all throughout my life, in good times and in frustrating times. We'll talk a little bit about that today. Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and honored guest. I am not a little girl. I feel like I've been trying to tell people that my whole life. Some of you might feel like, I can't relate to that. But let's think about it a little bit. Maybe you can remember way back to the time when you knew you were big enough and brave enough to ride that roller coaster, but that measuring stick said otherwise. Perhaps you were a new professional and you wanted to prove to your colleagues that you have what it takes to be successful. Or maybe, although you're flattered by that cashier, you need to convince her that you are old enough for the AARP discount. I have felt that way every day of my life. Welcome to my life if you've felt that way. When I was 3, my mother wrote in a journal about the way that I would play a game, not talking to people. She said, this only reinforces the impression that people have that she's just a little girl. Already at that age, my mom was trying to advocate for me. She's not a little girl. I needed to assert that later when I was in elementary school. It seemed like every teacher was so concerned because I was small for my age and so shy. One 3rd grade teacher stands out in particular. We had an upcoming parent night where each student was going to present on a different country. She was so nervous about me, she got a microphone just for me. I wish I was more aware of what's going on. I do remember the look of relief on her face after I finished my presentation on Bastille Day with poise and confidence. And maybe I could have helped her by saying, don't worry, I'm not a little girl. Many of you felt like you were finally grown up when you had that ID that said 21 and older. For me, I'm a sober Latter-day Saint or Mormon, so I've never had a drop of liquor in my life. I've rarely been carded for anything. However, when I was in college, I had the opportunity to go live in Eastern Europe and do an internship. While I was there, I went with my friend to a dance club because I love dancing, and I had to present my passport. My friend noticed how the bouncer looked surprised at my passport, and at the time I thought it was because I was an American. In retrospect, it's just because he thought I was a little girl. I needed a passport to say, I'm not a little girl, I'm a legal adult. After I graduated from college, I got married and started my career. I had to dress very professionally every day, unlike my colleagues who could do casual Friday. Even when I was dressed up, everyone thought I was a high school student. Even one of my coworkers sent me off to do work with the interns because she didn't think I was a bona fide employee. It's like I needed a name tag that said, I'm licensed, I've graduated, I have experience. Maybe some of you have felt the same way. When people judged you and didn't give you credit for the knowledge, expertise, or skills that you really do have, perhaps you can relate too. Well, I know most of you have entered the wonderful world of parenthood. I remember feeling pretty grown up when I was pregnant with my 2nd child. More often than not, people ask me, oh, is this your first? One time, a woman at the gym asked me that, and I said, no, this is my 2nd. And she gave me a knowing look and said, I was a teen mom.
Oh my goodness.
I had to bite my tongue instead of scream, I'm not a little girl. I really didn't want to offend her, but I was kind of offended. I was 27 years old, closer to 30 than I was to 20, and I was definitely not a teen mom. You would think things would get better as my children get bigger. Here you can see a picture of our family from the last year. But you may notice myself and my daughter on two ends. She's 3 inches taller than I am. At least once a week, someone comments that we look like sisters. Most women would be flattered, but to me, it's still frustrating. I am 3 times her age. I will be 40 in January, and I feel like I have the maturity and experience to raise my 4 children and to tell them what to do, whether they like it or not. I think most of you can understand, because you may still have kids that think you can't tell them what to do. You may have felt as I do, that you don't want to be judged by your looks. You want to be judged by your merit. You may have felt like you wished more people would recognize your knowledge, skills, and expertise. And hopefully you can take comfort in the knowledge that I have, that you are a child of God. He knows you specifically. He knows all of your accomplishments and abilities. And you can say with me, I am a child of royal birth. My Father is King of heaven and earth. My spirit was born in the courts on high, a child beloved, a princess am I. But I'm not a little girl. Madam Toastmaster.